What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Topic of Discussion. I am your host, Miles Berry. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day this morning, and I hope you guys continue just to have a great day today. Remember, we're choosing positivity, we're choosing happiness, we're choosing moving on, we're choosing letting go, we're choosing to be our best versions of ourselves, right? We're choosing to be in the present, we're choosing to set boundaries for ourselves, we're choosing to build a strong foundation and keep ourselves at heart. So therefore, when we lose things in life, we don't lose our foundation, which is ourselves, right? So we're creating a healthy environment. We're staying consistent. We're creating healthy habits. We're not letting things that interruptions in our day or negativity in our day stop us from having the best day of our life or stop us from still having positivity throughout our day or throughout our life, right? So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the topic for today. Okay. The topic for today is forgiving. Okay. The topic for today is forgiving. And today I'm going to be going over four people you must forgive in order to grow as a person. Right? So I'm going to name the four and then I'm going to go into depth with each one. Okay. One, your parents. Two, your exes and past friendships. Three, your haters. And four, your past self or the past version of yourself, right? So if you have seen other episodes that I've done, I touched a little bit on some of these before. I touched on the parents, but that was a long time ago. So this is really like an updated version on that. But without further introduction, let's just jump right into these, right? So again, these are four people you must forgive in order to grow as a person. And your parents is number one, right? And we all know that when we grow up in life or when things happen in life or we go through different trials and tribulations through our own life, we kind of look at our parents as far as like a reflection. Like, I came out this way because of you, right? The type of environment that I grew up in, the things that you put me in, the classes that I was put into, the people that I was hanging around with, right? Sometimes it stemmed from our environment and it stemmed from the environment that we were born into, which came from our parents, right? So a lot of times we don't realize they did what they could. They made mistakes, but holding it against them achieves nothing, right? And we all know that we always try to put the blame on our parents. It doesn't matter if we had a great upbringing, a bad upbringing, a okay upbringing, regardless of the situation or how you were brought up throughout your life. You kind of look at your parents and say, okay, well, they did good here, but at the same time, if they would have done this, I would be in a better position. Or if I got this, maybe I would be in a better position. So maybe if they would just had me when they got their life together, or instead of having me at a weird time in their life where they couldn't really take care of me or raise me the correct way, or my father left out my life, or my mother was never at home because she always had to work to provide for me and my sister and my brother. So therefore, it was no other way for us to really get that mother and son relationship, or just a parent being in the household or being in the house to raise us correctly and say, look, you're not supposed to do this, or you're going down the wrong path. I always strayed towards the environment that I was around, which was a bad environment. So it was easy to get in the streets. It was easy to be tempted to do certain things in my life because I wasn't raised correctly. So therefore, I blame my parents for how I came up throughout my life. I blame my parents for the environment. I blame my parents for this. I blame my parents for this. And as you really grow up throughout your life, you start to look back and you start to realize my parents did the best they could with what they had and the things that they had in their life and what they had to manage to be able to raise me. Now, don't get me wrong. They are some bad parents that don't try, that show no effort to raise their kids. I'm not talking about them. And those situations are just unfortunate. And the only thing that I would have to say for that situation is, for people that grow up with parents that don't love them, that grow up with parents that are never around, basically they raise themselves all throughout their life. This is what I have to tell you. Again, we're talking about forgiving today, so don't be mad at them. Although it could be wrong, forgive them. Forgive them. And as you grow up throughout your life, understand how you want to be a parent for your kids, and understand the positions and the situations that you're not going to put your kids in, right? Don't all throughout your life make what your mother did or what your father did a reflection of you. It's a reflection of them. But as you grow up and become a young man or become a grown man and a grown woman, that doesn't have to remain a reflection of you. You have the ability to change. And just because you came from an environment doesn't mean that has to be your environment throughout your life. Just because you came from a bad two-parent household, or maybe you didn't come from a parent household, your parents were split, or you didn't even know your father, just because you came from an environment like that doesn't mean you have to grow up and make the world your environment as such. Meaning that just because you didn't grow up with them around doesn't mean you have to go throughout your life just being mad at the world or just being mad at everybody and letting the world tempt you in a way, making it seem like because your parents did this, now you have a this is a good enough reason to react to the world like this. This is a good enough reason to react and hate the world and hate everybody around you and want to fight, want to kill, want to crash out your life because you're reacting to the environment that you were brought up in. Right? Right? I'm just trying to get on the same page. So I want us to understand today that we have to really, 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 and again, I'm not talking about for the parents that did not care about their kids or nor love them, right? I'm talking about if you just had a parent in your household that loved you and did everything they could for you. If you had two parents, amazing. If you had one that was just there for you, amazing. Just anybody in your household, forgive them for for trying to put this into words that make sense. Forgive them for not giving them the life that you wanted, or maybe not being in the environment that you wish you could have been in, or not being able to provide you with the things that everybody else had that you couldn't afford at the time. Maybe you just had to have limited amount of clothes. Maybe you had to wear the same jeans over and over every day. Maybe you had to wear the same shirt, same socks, same shoes. We have to forgive our parents from the situation that we were in, because as we grow up, and I said this before, as we grow up and people our age and younger and older start having kids, and maybe you have a kid that you weren't ready for and it comes abruptly, right? Now you have a baby that came abruptly. You wasn't ready. You didn't prepare for this, right? But now you have a kid and you chose to keep the kid. And now you're having a baby, right? But now, since you're having a baby, let's put it like this. You're not in the exact position that you want to be in. You're maybe not where you want to be in your life as far as your goals and aspirations. You maybe not as far as you want to be in your life with financial stability and your finances. You may not be where you want to be with far as your job, your family, relationships. Maybe the person that you had this kid with already walked away, right? So as we grow older and now we're put in these same situations that we were born into, you kind of look back at your past and say, man, my mom didn't choose that. My parents didn't choose that. It was what happened. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes that's part of life, and we adjust to life. We adjust to what comes. So therefore, if they weren't expecting that, or you weren't expecting to have a kid, now you're expecting to have a kid. Now you have to raise that kid with everything that you have. You can't just be like, hold on, hold on, hold on. I'm pregnant, but at the same time, let me go get this money right. Let me go get this job. Let me go do this. Let me go do this. Let me go do this, and come back a year or two later. It doesn't work like that, right? It doesn't work like that. That baby is coming. So now all you have to do and all that you can do is to provide this baby with everything that you have and all the love and all the passion, and just try to be there the best that you can with the environment that they're going to be born into, with the things that they're going to be born into, with the clothes, the shoes, and everything else that you can afford. That's what you're going to bring forth towards that baby, right? So therefore, now when you think back towards your parents, they gave you everything they had and everything they could provide for you, right? They're not perfect. They're not perfect. Are you perfect? Were you ready for this kid that you had? Were you ready for this relationship? Were you ready for to be a parent now? But maybe you weren't, and now you're a parent. So you adjust with the situation. You adjust with your circumstances. You adjust with life, and it's going to make you mature. It's going to make you grow, but at the same time you can only provide what you have, and if you only what you have, it's a limited amount of resources. That's all you can provide to the kid, and you're going to keep telling yourself, I'm gonna provide more, I'm gonna provide more, because you want to give this kid the world. But at the same time, you can only use the resources that you have. And I'm saying all this to say to forgive your parents. To forgive your parents. They're not perfect. They're not perfect human beings. They came into this world just like you came into this world, right? And sometimes we're expected and we're planned, and sometimes we're not expected and we're not planned to come into this world. But at the same time, forgive your parents for how they raised you and the things they did that you didn't like. Love on them. If they're still there for you, they couldn't provide everything for you, but they were still there for you. You played sports, they were still at the games. Maybe they couldn't get everything. They couldn't get the bat, the basketball, the cool sleeves and everything to go with your your I cannot think right now. But your outfit, whatever you your I cannot think of this. Your jersey, your uniform. I'm tripping, but you couldn't get all the sleeves, the leg sleeves, the cleats, the shoes, everything to go with your uniform or your jersey that you wanted to. But at the same time, they were still showing up to the game to support you. They were still showing up after practice to pick you up. They were still showing up to take your friends home. Like, you get what I'm saying? The sacrifices you make as a parent, and I'm not even a parent yet, but I just see and I know and I also listen. So therefore, that's where I'm coming from with my wisdom and coming from with just my knowledge on this, my knowledge on this. I'm sorry. So therefore, when parents are making these sacrifices and they're going out their way, they're giving you everything they have. So stop hating and stop looking down on your parents, or stop being mad at your parents, or having some type of envy or frustration or just anger at them because of the way that you were brought up. Just say thank you. Definitely, if they were there or they did everything they can, thank you. I don't have to be that same parent to my kids, right? I can be a better parent. It's not saying maybe they were a bad parent, but I can be a better one. I want to be able to provide more, so I'm gonna get myself in a better position before I have a kid, or maybe it's an accidental. But even if it's an accidental, I'm gonna be prepared for that accidental. Do y'all kind of get what I'm saying? Just forgive your parents, okay? Forgive your parents, because holding anger, holding frustration, holding what they could have done, holding all these things that you wish they could have done, it achieves nothing. It achieves nothing. And you're better off just rekindling that relationship if you lost it, or just growing more and more with your parents to understand who they are, right? You came into this world. You didn't meet them as a kid. You met them as an adult, or you met them still, regardless of how old they are when they had you, you still met them older than you, right? So you don't truly know who your parents are. So as you get older, take time just to learn who your parents are as a man or as a woman, not as your parent, but as a man and as a woman. Take time to learn them, right? Right, and understand the trials and tribulations they went through, not just to beat them up or think about in your mind like, man, look at what you did, but no, just to understand who they are as a person in their life. In their life, stop holding these grudges over them, because I promise you, it it achieves nothing. And once they leave from this world, you're gonna wish that you rekindled a relationship with them, or you built a stronger relationship over time, because you really cherish your parents, man. You really do. And if you say it, or if you don't, really deep down in your heart, you have love and passion and compassion for them. And again, these are for the parents that have been in your life, not the ones that you don't know or never were in your life, or whatever the case is. And um just forgive your parents. And lastly, on this topic, anybody's father that walked out on them when they were younger, or walked out and they never knew their father, don't hold that against them. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right, but don't hold that against them as you grow older in your life. You know, everybody doesn't know how to handle situations. Is it a coward move? Yes. But again, everybody doesn't know how to handle situations. Everybody doesn't know how to take on responsibilities. Everybody just doesn't know how to be there. And some people don't understand who they are. And it's hard to be there for someone else if you don't understand who you are, because you're still trying to understand you. Get control of your mind, get control of who you are. And it's hard to raise a kid when you haven't even raised yourself. But at the same time, being a parent and being in that position, you got to adjust and you got to be there for that kid, and you got to take your pride away. You got to take what you don't know and say, look, I haven't grown. I haven't been able to take care of myself, but I'm gonna take care of both of us, and then we're gonna grow together, right? But people choose to walk away because they don't want that responsibility. Fathers choose to walk away and leave the mother with a kid because they don't want that responsibility. They don't know how to be a man. They don't. They don't want to stay around. Maybe this was with the wrong woman and it happened abruptly, but at the same time, you gotta take full responsibility of your actions, right? And what you put into this world, you got to give it the world. So if you brought a baby into this world, you need to give them the world, and you need to try to provide them with the things that you didn't have when you were growing up. All right. I know you're not perfect. You may still be doing a lot of things in your life, and they could be good, they could be bad, but you have to change. And when you bring a kid into this world, you have to change. It's a maturity change, it's a growth change, it's a mental change, but you got to change your ways, and we got to forgive our parents for the things they did in our life because they're just human, just like us, right? They're human just like us. They went through trials and tribulations. They were once a kid that grew up and had a kid and had you. They were a human just like us. They go through the same things that we went through: financial problems, job problems, with their heart problems, trying to rekindle lost relationships, bad relationships problems, hurt problems, domestic problems. Parents are human just like us, and we don't know the things they went through. So get to know who your parent is. Get to know your mom. Get to know your father as a man and as a woman, right? Outside of just being your parent. Forgive them for the way that you were brought up. It holds nothing against them. It achieves nothing holding grudges against your parents. Two, forgive your exes and past friendships. They may have hurt you, but they were probably just looking out for themselves. Humans are naturally selfish, right? We know that. We know that, right? Humans are naturally selfish, right? And 9 times out of 10, if it's between me and you, I'm gonna think more about myself than I'm gonna think about you, right? A lot of times, and that's really how it is. Because when we think of relationships, even though that we're together, it's like, all right, I gotta put myself first, but at the same time, right? I love you, I like you, I like what we have, but at the same time, if it's between me and you, I gotta put myself first, right? Unless we're locked in and we're talking about marriage. And we're talking about we've been doing this for years and we have a healthy relationship, I got you. And I'm gonna have you for life. And sometimes I'm gonna probably put you before me sometimes. I don't know if that's right, but at the same time, that's how much love and passion that I have for you. Definitely if I have kids too. And you guys get what I'm saying? Like boom. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So as we get older, we start to kind of come to the realization of that exes, past relationships when we were younger, high school, college, just when we were younger and we were still growing as a man, growing as a woman, we realized that every relationship necessarily wasn't bad. We just fell off. We just fell off because our mindsets were different. The way you think, the way you view the world, and that's okay. You can have a different perspective on the world. That doesn't mean I have to be in your world, though. That doesn't mean I have to be in your world. So therefore, people would think more about themselves. And like I said before, it's okay to be selfish. You gotta be selfish. You gotta create boundaries. You gotta think about yourself because you don't know everybody's intentions. And some people's intentions look good and look healthy and look, like the right path for you to go down with them. But at the same time, it can be an unhealthy path and it can be a bad relationship. And they can have like I was just saying, a bad perspective on the world. And that if you're around this all the time, you're hanging out with this person all the time, you can be tempted to start viewing the world like they view the world, or tempted to do the things that you're not used to doing with your life that may be tempting them because you're around, because what you hang around starts becoming your reality. So if you hang around a lot of friends, or you hang around 10 people that drink every day, out of those 10 people, including yourself, if you hang around 10 people and 9 of them drink and you don't, you might be tempted to start drinking one day, right? If you hang around 5 people that smoke, right? If you hang around 5 people that smoke and you're the only one that don't smoke, and you hang around these people all day, you might start to hit it one time. You might start to hit it every now and then. You might start to get in the rotation every now and then because that's what you're around. You start becoming what you are around. So maybe if you start hanging out with 5 people that work out every day, you might start to get stronger because that's all what you're around. So where y'all going? We about to go to the gym. You may not go today. Where you going? We might. mm, we about to go to the gym. We about to go to the gym again. We about to get a smoothie and go to the gym. So maybe a year or two, let's just say a couple months. A couple months go by. Maybe you start hitting the gym now. Right now, you're creating a healthy cycle and healthy diet for yourself because that's all what you're around. You attract what you hang around is what you attract, right? And the things that you do with your life and the way you think mentally, that's the things that you attract. So if you think negativity, you're going to attract negativity. If you think positivity, you're going to attract positivity. You're going to attract positive people into your life because that's how your mental is. And that's how you're viewing the world. That's where your perspective, that's where your lens, and that's where your focus is on life, right? So therefore, again, I feel like how you see the world, how your mental is, that's going to be the people and things that you attract. So change the people that you hang around if you're not hanging around people and things that you want to be around, right? If they're bad habits and you're just going around those habits because, hey, those are my friends, maybe you need new friends now, right? Because I feel like, personally, this is my opinion. If I'm hanging around a bunch of people, right, pretend like I don't smoke, and I hang around a bunch of people that do smoke, right? Like I was just saying, I might be tempted to smoke. But now, if I change my environment and I start hanging around people that don't smoke, I'm not going to be tempted to smoke because it's nowhere near around me, right? It's nowhere around me. I'm not going to be tempted. I'm not going to be thinking about it because no one around me is smoking, right? So I changed my circle and then my mental is in a better space. I'm not being tempted because I changed my environment. So nothing that I used to do, would want to do, is around me. So therefore, I'm not even attracted to it, right? So just going back to boom, the topic again. Our exes and past friendships, they may have hurt you, but they were probably just looking out for themselves. Humans are naturally selfish, once again, because we all know that. And it's okay to be selfish, like I was just saying, but just learn as you go on throughout your life, and as you grow in life, you're probably going to come to the realization of it anyway. But you're just going to start forgiving people because that's just who they are, and you're going to look back at situations like, man, we were overreacting. It wasn't even that serious. Like we could have just nipped that in the bud. Like it wasn't even that serious. You get what I'm saying? So uh, as we grow in life, we're gonna grow as humans. We're gonna grow. We're gonna become more mature, and we're just going to grow as an overall human. So our old ways, our old actions are going to change, and our mental space is going to change as well, and our perspectives. So therefore, when we start seeing things in a different light, it's going to be like I was just saying, yeah, we could have just nipped that in the bud. Like it was no need for that. And at the same time, I forgive you. We may not be friends anymore, but at the same time, I forgive you, or I forgive our actions during that time. It was childish, it was pointless. But at the same time, I'm good. I went through that so I can understand. It helped me grow as a person. It helped me focus on the things that I need to do in my life. And it's not like I hate you, but at the same time, you just weren't good for me then. And you were kind of stopping my growth. But at the same time, I understand why we fell off, and you need to be selfish for your life. And you need to put you first. And I was starting to put you above me. And I started losing myself because I started relying on you to give me love. I started relying on you to give me happiness. I started relying on you to give me the things that I needed from myself. And I started to lose myself in you. So when you walked away, it felt like I lost my life, and I was restarting my life again. So therefore, sometimes we got to be selfish because once you get to that realization and you get to that point where you're relying on people to provide your happiness, provide your growth, provide you with understanding in life, provide your light, provide your walk in life, you're gonna fall because you're gonna lose yourself when they walk away. But when you get yourself again, don't ever give somebody your heart like that. Don't ever give somebody so much of yourself when if they walk away, you lose you. You give them a piece of you. See how they do with that piece. Never give someone your all. Not in that sense. You got to be selfish. You got to be selfish. And that's okay to be selfish like that because you got to put you first. And I can't lose me to this world. And I already gained too much in my life through my jobs, through my careers, with the things that I invest in, with relationships that I built. I invested too much in my life to lose myself again and restart. So therefore, I'm being selfish with my life and saying I got to put me first. Even though it's gonna hurt, even though it might hurt you, I gotta put myself first and walk away from this situation. I gotta put myself first and leave these people behind. I gotta put myself first and do this for myself. Okay. Another thing we need to forgive. I said I hate this. This is short. You have no enemies. People can dislike you, but you don't have to pay them any attention. Forgive them and let it go. People are always going to hate on us as we grow in life and as we start to reach our achievements and our goals and aspirations. People are going to get jealous. People are going to look at you and be like, they might show it with their response, how they respond, and we might just feel a negative aura, and we can kind of, they always say keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Yeah, whatever. But at the same time, it's just more so like your enemies are always going to be close because they're always going to watch you. They always want to make sure they're around to see you fall, right? But at the same time, if you keep on incline and keep going up and keep reaching your goals, that's what they're going to see, and they're still going to hate, but they're not going to be watching. Well, they are going to be watching, and it's not going to be from far away, right? It's like somebody standing on top of a cliff and looking down and watching you because that's all they want to do with their life. They want to watch you, but don't just forgive your haters. Hey, it's like, you know what? I don't have no beef with you. You got beef with me. I don't have no beef with you. But at the same time, I'm gonna keep achieving. And if you want to keep watching my life and keep watching me grow and keep watching me prosper in my life as I grow as an individual, as I at some point start a family, as I some point get married, as I some point reach every goal that I intended to reach, as I grow more in my relationship with God and walk down the correct path that I have in my life, you continue to watch that. And if you want to hate on that, if you want to be jealous of that, if you want to sit close enough to watch that, feel free. But you won't be able to affect my life. It doesn't matter how close you are. It doesn't matter if you're right here talking in my ear. I've I've already separated myself and already distanced myself, and I'm on my path with God and I'm on my walk. So therefore, it doesn't matter what the world brings. It doesn't matter what y'all saying to my ear. It doesn't matter what negativity y'all bring. I got these blinders on, and it's like I'm deaf to negativity. I'm on this walk with God, and I only hear God's voice, and I only hear positivity. So therefore, y'all can hate all y'all want to, and I'm gonna forgive y'all for hating on me because I understand that's y'all really just supporting me. Lastly, forgive your past self. And I said this on another episode. Forgive the past versions of yourself. You did the best with what you had in that time. The past versions of yourself, right? We always get so mad, man. I just hate that I did that. I just wish. Why did I even put myself in this position? Why did I even deal with this person? Why was I even over here? I knew I wasn't supposed to be over there. Forgive yourself, right? Forgive yourself. You're gonna mess up in life. You're gonna be in bad situations. You're gonna be around bad people that you shouldn't be around. You're gonna be in bad relationships. You're gonna be around certain groups that you shouldn't be around. You're gonna be tempted in ways that you shouldn't have been tempted, but you put yourself in a position to be tempted in the first place. So you're gonna be around certain things that's gonna affect your life, right? And as you grow older and you mature, and as you grow as a human, you're gonna realize, man, I should have never been in that position in the first place. Man, why did I put myself in that position? Man, why did I put myself in that position? I hate that I did that. Forgive yourself. Forgive every past version of yourself that hurt you. Forgive every past version of yourself that you dislike, that you're mad at, that you wish that you never did it, that you wish that you never hung around this person, that you wish that you just would have, you know what I'm saying? Forgive that and forgive yourself. We're all gonna grow. We're all gonna go through certain things that help us grow as a human, right? And sometimes we're gonna make bad mistakes. Sometimes we're gonna make great mistakes. But all in all, it's a learning lesson. And you only take a loss if you don't learn a lesson, right? You only take a loss if you don't learn a lesson. Because we're gonna take losses, but it's only truly a loss if you don't learn a lesson from it, right? So I just want us to forgive the versions of ourselves that hurt us, forgive the versions of ourselves that we weren't our best self, that we were still growing, that we were still maturing, that we were still finding ourselves, we were still just trying to figure out life. I want you to understand that that's part of life. And even at this age, however old that you are now, you're still gonna go through certain things that you're gonna dislike. And as you grow older, you're gonna be like, man, last year I wish I would have never did that, right? But as you get older, you're going to continue to mature, you're going to continue to grow, and you're going to continue to be a better version of yourself every year. So it's always going to be something that we wish we could have done better. But you have to forgive yourself along the journey to be present in the moment that you are now. You have to forgive all your past versions. You got to forgive all your past pain. You got to forgive everything that you've been through to be present in this moment now, to understand who you are and where you want to be with your life. But you have to be present in this moment. And to be present, you have to forgive the past versions of yourself. Right? So this video is a little long, but it's okay. But that's all I wanted to emphasize to everyone today. So again, 4 people you must forgive in order to grow as a person: your parents, your exes, your past friendships, haters, and your past self. I hope you learned something today. This has been Topic of Discussion. I'm Miles Berry. We out.